Hello students and welcome to Bio 104 Environmental Lab Biology. This semester we are having our course online, so all of the materials and information you need is going to be here on our Blackboard page. So I just wanted to create just a short welcome video so that you guys can get to know a little bit more about what to expect this semester. I also wanted to share with you a few things about some of the topics and content that we'll be discussing, some of the assignments that you'll be expected to complete, and also, again, just sort of a general overview of the course so that you can know what to expect this semester. So first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Crystal Pierce, and I'm your instructor. I've been at Harper for about 13 years now as both an adjunct and now as a full-time instructor. My background is in ecology and conservation. So that's sort of where I have my education comes from. And that's why I really enjoy teaching this class because this is really in my wheelhouse. This is the stuff that I love to talk about. And so hopefully that you will learn a lot this semester. Online learning has its pros and cons, as we all know, as we continue our third or fourth semester of online learning since the pandemic began. For some of you, obviously, this is the format that you really enjoy, and that's probably why you signed up for the class. So some of the experiences that you would normally have in an environmental lab class will be a little bit different. However, my goal is to get you outside as part of the class as much as possible. So you will see that what I've done is I have tried to indicate those specific labs as we go through them that I will be asking you to go outside for. And sometimes you're outside for 10 or 15 minutes. It's not a huge amount of time, but at least it gets you outdoors and it gets you sort of thinking about things in lieu of being here on campus and completing those activities. So I'm here on our syllabus and schedule page. Please make sure you look at the full syllabus for all course policies information, but sort of some important things to note is here is our schedule for this particular semester, how I'll be doing the grading, what assignments and projects and things that you will need to complete. All of this is in the syllabus as well. I just like to pull it out so that you have quick and easy reference to it. As far as getting a hold of me, since we're fully online, the best way to get a hold of me is going to be through email. I am going to actually be on campus, so I am teaching some of my lab sections on campus this semester, so I will be on campus as well. And I will have office hours, both on campus and online office hours. These office hours are generally, if there's a very specific time that you know that you email me and I can get right back to you, that's basically what these hours are. It doesn't mean you can't email me outside of those hours. You certainly can. It just means that my response will be probably not as quick, right? I'm also happy to set up a WebEx meeting or we can use Blackboard Collaborate. Both of those are basically web conferencing tools that we can use. So if you'd like to have a meeting where we actually kind of talk to each other face to face, we can certainly do that using those technologies. So that information is available. This tab here, other information, has some good things for you to look through. I'm not going to go through everything sort of individually here, but there is some helpful information as far as, things to look for. A whole section here on part of a project that you're going to be completing this semester called Green Technology Presentations. I won't go into it now. This is just introducing you to the course, so I don't need to go through the fine details, but rubrics, privacy statements. I also have some COVID-19 information. I know that, again, being online, you are not coming to campus, but it is something that we are still asking students to self-report. So even if you are not coming to campus, it's still information that we are tracking. So there's some information that you can follow here about that as well. Most of what you're going to be doing is going to be sort of here in our learning modules. So I've got the first few available already, so you're welcome to sort of look around. I'd like you to start here in the course orientation folder. I'd go through, just some different things. Okay, the video that you're seeing now is also posted here. I also have information on how to post an assignment if you've never done that to Blackboard. Again, by this point, I'm sure you're all more than familiar with this process, but if we've got new students joining us who are new to Harper, welcome to Harper, and if you've never used Blackboard before, this might be particularly something that you would like to look at. I also have other information here. Let's go back to sort of our first course orientation. I also have an intro form, so I would love for you to post an introduction. Tell us a little about yourself. If you've got a picture to share, that would be fantastic as well. Tell us what you're studying, what you're interested in, maybe what your plans are if you know after Harper, just as a way to kind of get to know each other a little bit better. Discussion is going to be a little bit different in this class, in the sense that you will be assigned a small group of students. So there are going to be 3 groups of 8 that you will be conversing with. So these are I call them learning teams. It's small group discussion. You can call it whatever you'd like. But essentially, these groups will be the people that you're going to have your discussions with. You can send them emails, you can share documents. There's all kinds of things that you can do with these groups, and you'll learn again a little bit more of that as you kind of get into the course. But this is the place where you access your learning group. So this is the place where you will find things for, again, your group discussion board. If you wanted to hold a collaborate session where you all get on and talk to each other, you can actually do that through your group. I've never had a group do that, but if it's something you're interested in, you can do that. You're welcome to do that. If you want to start that precedent, that would be great. The other thing here, the message form is slightly different. So this isn't the weekly discussion questions that you'll be answering. This instead is additional information I'm providing to you. So we're going to use a survey tool called Socrative, and I have an ability there, or option there for you to ask questions. If you ask me those questions, I'm going to answer them, and this is how I'm going to answer to you. This is also where you can post other things related to the class that you just want to share with people. So this is sometimes called like a water cooler discussion thread or forum. Maybe if you've had other classes, it's kind of the same thing. So those are sort of the highlights. Let's get into week 1. So I gave you the course orientation. I just wanted to kind of show you what a typical module is going to look like. The modules are broken down by week. I'll give you objectives. I'll tell you what the activities that you need to complete. And then I'll also give you deadlines for assignments and when things need to get done. I break each module up into lecture material, lab material, and assignments. Just as a reminder, there is no specific textbook for this course. We are using an OER text from basically an online publishing called Pressbooks. Okay, so what you will do is you can just scroll down when you click on that link, and here are all of the topics. So the course is mostly organized according to the topic in the topic of organization of this book. So I mostly go in order, so you won't have to skip around too much in the book. You can download this rather than having sort of just the online only copy. If you're someone who likes a physical copy, you can download the book and you can print it out if you wish. It's entirely up to you. But again, this is what we're using for reading material. So there's nothing additional that you need to purchase for this course. I also then have some lecture videos that I will give you each week. I try to keep these between 10 and 15 minutes. Sometimes there are multiple videos depending on the topic, but I try to keep them short. And then you'll also have access to some notes as well that go along with those presentations. I have optional practice quizzes that I offer for each module. This is just to make sure that you understand the materials. You don't have to take them. You can also take them as many times as you'd like. So if you didn't get all the questions right the first time, take it again. This does not count towards your grade. This is just a practice, a way for you to see how well you're comprehending and understanding information. After you've completed all the lecture material, then you move on to the lab material. And then the lab material, you will have the assignment itself. And then also usually I give some sort of set of instructions. Sometimes I'll do a video if there's something that I want you to specifically know, or a technique, or there's a part of the lab that I think might be somewhat confusing. I'll go over it in a video so you can kind of get a better grasp of what we're looking at. Otherwise, I'll just give you sort of a set of instructions that go along with the lab. So when it comes to due dates for assignments, everything is due. I run on a Monday through Sunday week. So the week starts on Monday the 23rd and it ends on Sunday the 29th. So all of your assignments need to be turned in by Sunday evening. And again, we say 11:59 p.m., the end of the day. So your labs, your lab quizzes, once we get to lab quizzes, that'll be something else we'll do. Your discussions, your check-ins. So all of those other things that you have to complete, they're all going to be due at that time. So the lab was here in lab materials. Assignments is where you're going to find a link to your check-in question and also to the discussion question. Keep in mind that for Socrative is set up based on your Harper username. So the username, not your Harper ID, but your Harper username. So your username is the first part of your email address, your Harper email address. So when you go to do the survey, and I'll click on it right here, it's going to first ask you for the room name. The room name's always going to be the same. You guys are Bio 104 W01. So Bio 104 W01, that's you. You're going to hit join. And it says waiting for the next activity to begin. I don't have anything here. I haven't started anything yet. I haven't given you guys a survey yet. But before that step, it'll ask you to enter your username. And your username is going to be, once again, your Harper username. So please don't put in your Harper ID, okay? That will be set up by the time class gets started next week. I haven't set up those Socrative rooms yet, but I will do that. And again, the check-ins are just quick, easy 5 points. You know, tell me something that you learned, ask me any questions you have, you know, are you able to access content? It's really basic stuff, but the idea is that I want us to have a place where we can sort of check and see how your comprehension's going, right? Because being a fully online class, I don't have the ability to stand up in front of a room and ask you all, hey, what questions do you have? What can I help you with? I can't do that. So this is kind of our informal way of doing that, to make sure that you are understanding the content as we're going through things, right? So you will find that the layout is going to be identical every single week. So the layout's the same week by week by week. This is how I do things. And taking a look at the schedule of topics, what you'll notice is we're going to start in general with the discussion of the process of science, right? So what are our goals? What are our aims? We'll specifically talk about what environmental science is and how it's different than a lot of other disciplines, because it's interdisciplinary, right? We're going to talk about a lot of different things. And then we're going to start with a discussion of some things related to the environment itself. We're going to talk about systems in the environment. We call them ecosystems, and we'll talk about groups of living things. And then once we sort of understand how the natural system works, then we'll move on into problems that we're facing. So we'll talk about different types and forms of pollution. We'll talk about waste. We'll talk about our food systems, and we'll talk about how we generate energy, and all kinds of different topics. So again, hopefully most of what we're going to be talking about should be somewhat familiar to you, right? I mean, you've heard of some of these issues. You know some of the problems that we're facing. The idea behind this class is to just give you a little bit more information about those topics, and then also looking at some ways in which we're trying to tackle some of those problems, right? So we acknowledge that they're there, but then the next step is trying to do something about them. So we're going to be discussing that part as well. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up here. You will have a weekly email from me and an announcement, and each announcement is going to start with a really quick video. I like to do video announcements. I feel like that's the only way that you kind of get to see me versus reading everything on a computer. So every week there will be an announcement with a quick announcement video. I'm just going to go through what's due. I will talk about sort of any important or pressing things that I notice from student conversations or student emails or whatever it happens to be. If something comes up, I'll let you know. So you can expect that from me every week. I also send out a lot of follow-ups, right? So I'm going to email you in the middle of the week, and I'll be like, hey, here's a reminder, here's what's due. And then on Sunday night, you're going to hear from me again, because I'm going to say, hey all, this is what's due tonight. Make sure you're on top of things. So you can expect a lot of communication from me in this class. And so don't be surprised if you see my emails keep coming up in your inbox, because again, my goal is to keep contact with you as best I can through the medium of email, because that's what we have. But I'm also, again, more than happy to meet with any of you through WebEx. Or if you happen to be on campus on Tuesdays for another class or whatever it happens to be, I'm having office hours on campus. You're more than welcome to come by, and all of my information is here in this faculty information link. You certainly don't have to. Again, I know with changes in daily COVID cases and the new Delta variant, and it's kind of throwing things for a loop, and what we had planned earlier isn't always what happens, right? Just because of the uh, changing nature of this pandemic. And so if you don't find yourself on campus at all, that's completely fine. But if you are and you would like to stop by, you are more than welcome to. I'm looking forward to a really great semester. Again, this is, in my opinion, this is a fun class. Of course, I'm biased because I'm teaching the class, so of course I think it's fun. But I really do feel like students who have taken this class, I get a lot of positive feedback from them, and they say that they really enjoyed it, that they learned this or learned that, or they took something away from it. And so I'm hoping that you all will have the same experience. So that's it for now. But again, I will be in contact with you all very soon. Bye, everyone.